My vagina ended up on Instagram.
What? From his
What?
From the girl.
From his
From
ex.
the girl that he's dating.
No. Hold
Or
on.
from
Wait.
his
I can't. Y'all can't give me a small let's just say what happened.
Whoa. Spill it.
Hell yeah, spill
He
it.
obviously is a hoe, and it is what it is. I mean, we were together for a long time. We have a kid together, and there were a few couple times that things happened.
All right, so real quick, I know that we can block it out. What's his name? What's the name? We'll block it out. So won't. What tattoo place?
He used to work at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what is right. Fuck.
And
That's a legit.
Yeah.
No, the girl that he's
fucking really
dating now
legit.
freaked out and I guess found some nudie
It was
pictures on his phone.
first of all, the
from
pictures
Toni
he found
from,
are old.
So this is after revenge boob job and bodies on place, right?
This is
before all this happened.
Before,
Shit.
right after he left, I literally dropped 30 pounds. Sivan did my whole face. I looked good.
Yeah.
And he one day came to pick up the kid and was like, oh.
No way.
Why didn't you look
Why didn't he look like that before? First of all, when he met me, I
First
didn't
of all,
have
suck
all
a
of this. Yeah, but my body was really nice. I worked out constantly when we first met. He was super against injections. Didn't want me to get a boob job. But the girl that he's with is all
Kim K wannabe.
Yeah.
Ew,
The whole
she's gross.
caboodle.
She's gross. The whole
So keep going. Tell the Instagram vagina story.
One day I'm at work, or I'm driving to work, and I get a text message from her. She added his mom and him, and sends the picture of my vagina to his mom.
what?
What'd she
She's
say?
a real classy broad. She's
So-
real
Now you guys, this picture was how old?
What?
Oh, it was recent.
The
Freshly
vagina
shaved.
picture was old, but
No. How old? But you guys were together at that point, right?
no, we had
she-
messed around. The thing with him is he was so back and forth for probably a good 6 months. He was gone. So of course,
So you guys were trying to kind of maybe work it out. So it's while
He
y'all were
just-
talking.
He wanted to
He
keep
just-
that string.
I
there.
did anal.
Tony was just
Yeah.
damn. I cannot.
Yeah,
Good
did
for
you hear that?
you. Good for you.
So
She said, "I
why
did
would you
anal." That
he
bitch
doesn't want to
didn't.
give up the fun,
Yeah.
I was the fun one. So
The new girl does no anal?
Probably not.
Probably not.
no, definitely not.
She looks like she takes it missionary and doesn't make a sound the whole time.
She's pretty.
All right, you got a picture of her? We got to see a picture.
Oh, I'll pull her up.
I want to see a picture of this girl.
Pretty
beyond
is
blocked
a
from
little.
everything.
You guys,
Yeah.
she's pretty, but her
She is
personality
pretty.
sucks.
It's all right. So,
She looks like a hood
so
rat.
you get this text message.
Yeah.
It's your ex's mom, the girl, and your ex is on there?
Yes, and
What
so
is it?
I delete it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this drama. I block her.
No, hold on. What did it say?
It was a picture of my vagina,
With nothing-
and she
okay.
was
Oh
like,
my god.
"Your son's a piece of shit."
But what
So
would
your-
that
y'all's
do?
son is a piece of shit?
No, her son, because she copied his
she
mother.
put Tony and the mom on a group text and would
Who
send
does
the
that?
But the thing
That
is, what's
speaks
the mom
more-
supposed to
Yeah,
say?
so-
That speaks
And
more
mind
of
you,
her
his
than it
mother-
does of
Were
Tony.
you friends with his mom?
100%.
Yes, we're very close. She actually, when he
To
took
this
off,
day?
she helped
She's
me
like,
raise
you have
her.
such a pretty vagina.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was not a bad picture.
Go girl.
I was shaved, I just got waxed.
that's so funny.
I mean, what is
couldn't
the
pick
point?
another one.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, it says a lot about her
literally would
insecurity.
never
Yeah.
in my life do
ever.
that.
But they met under the
Stupid.
same
So funny, I'm sorry.
circumstance.
He was
you know what I mean?
cheating on Tony with his
For
friend.
months with her.
You had no idea.
No.
God.
This is when y'all were together. He was cheating on you.
Yeah, with
Priscilla
her.
is not. She's not
So
impressed.
she got mad, and then next thing I know, he calls my phone, and I decline it because I'm like, I'm not doing this right now.
Right, how far soon after the text did he call?
I get a call from a payphone 7 times. So I'm at work and with Sivan, and he's like, Tony,
How she has that many followers is beyond me.
you know,
'Cause she was on the
she
back
found
row.
everything.
Oh, I love her. She's so awesome. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Right.
I was like,
Come over there.
what?
About to come and kill you.
Yeah. Can you leave, please?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I'm just
anyways, I start getting a bunch of messages from his clients, people that follow me, and they're like, "Hey,
Tony,
your vagina is on Instagram," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Mind you, I have all the logins to all his Instagrams because I'm still doing his personal. I'm still his assistant.
Still now?
Shit, are you
damn.
serious?
He ran his booking.
so I'm going in and I'm
She's
deleting everything
too
she's
nice.
posting on his stuff. I am. He's looking at blow his fucking car
Dude,
up.
she could have like deleted all of his booking
my
system and everything,
God.
and she didn't do anything.
Yeah,
at the
so
same
wait,
time.
very,
what
like-
does he say? You
She
finally
looks
talk to him?
ghetto.
So
Yeah.
I call him and he he's at work. So I call his friend's phone that he works with and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, I'm fucking tripping. We got to delete everything. So as I'm deleting, she's uploading.
Stop.
Wait, why is he not fucking handling it?
Because he's
I'm just-
a
I mean,
pussy.
Pussy.
So he never. I mean, I'm
He's
not
in,
saying
he's
no,
in
but I'm
love
just-
with her because she's the best thing that's ever happened.
No, he's in love with her because she's psychotic, and
Yeah.
she like puts a dog leash on him.
So
Guys love that shit.
Yeah. So I get like all
Wait,
these
what?
messages.
Hold on.
Yeah.
She takes the reins and puts him in his place.
Yeah, she's psychotic with him.
She's like that girl that's, super controlling. You're going to do what the fuck I
Location
want you to do.
on phone.
And there's a certain
Yeah.
type of guy that really likes that.
that
Yeah.
needs it.
That needs it, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's him.
So what happened?
So eventually got to the point I got it deleted. I was gonna press charges, and it's just like
I told her
I made a
last time I hung
post.
out with you to do it.
I know, and I made a post, and I was like, "Thanks for the publicity," because
Right.
literally from that, I mean, people started. He lost a lot of clients.
Really?
His
Wow.
clients asked me to find him new artists, and I did, because I'm close with most of them.
Because that says the worst about
Oh, yeah.
them way more than you.
Oh yeah, he
So-
lost a lot of mutual friends.
What did he mean? So did she ever apologize? She ever addressed
Oh
it?
no, absolutely
God, no.
not. He eventually wasn't allowed. He had to block me. We're still not allowed to have contact
Because of her?
Because of her.
But you have a
you
child
still-
together.
and-
But we have a child together.
And you still do
She's very
business?
mature.
No, absolutely.
I
not.
can
not
see that.
now.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So how do you guys, y'all 50-50?
No, absolutely.
You have full custody?
I have primary custody.
Primary
He
custody.
sees her every other weekend.
So how do y'all do drop-offs?
Oh, it's petty as fuck. She goes to school. He picks her up from school, drops her back off at school Monday. I actually allow her to him to have extra nights because I have no way to get my daughter. So it's a whole
Oh my
drama.
god.
Can
that
you
I'm going
imagine?
through right now.
How old is she?
She's 2.5.
I
Wow.
So it's scary. Like she's over there right now, and like I could like have a fucking panic attack. So
Yeah, 'cause she has no way of texting him or anything.
and I know he's out of town with her, so it's like
because the other girl won't allow it.
I
So-
literally put that in my son's dad and I. We've always been amicable. Like I've always
it's in
really
the
gotten along and
agreement.
always
He's
been on the
supposed
same
to.
page. And I put it in writing, and he could go to jail if he breaks it. That he is only to communicate with me and we've never really had this issue, but for drop offs and there's no other people involved.
Mm-hmm.
You are his dad. I am his mother. There
Right.
doesn't need to be a stranger involved in the mix.
Right.
Like,
Oh.
and
That,
that's
as
the
far
way
as
it is.
dropping off.
right.
Any kind of communication about school, about
But the fact that-
like home care,
Yeah.
about drop offs, it is
And
only
not
to
that
be
it's-
done with each other.
It sucks that really, I mean, I agree with you 100%.
I mean, but we
it's
get
crazy
along-
when
we
you do a
get
petty
along
shit
great.
like
Right.
that. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the
But how
person who hurts the
stressful.
most, the person who hurts the most is a child.
100%.
And so that's the part
100%. It
of,
skews their vision of relationships and, the mother daughter aspect and how they grow up and how they view the opposite sex.
Right.
And,
I just
you
would
know,
hate it that I can't talk to my child when they're gone that
Oh,
many
it freaks me
days.
out.
Like,
It's bad. I mean, unfortunately, the system's so skewed that literally I called and they're like, "Well, you can get a lawyer and go through the whole legal process."
The unfortunate part is just I'm a single dad too. So the unfortunate part is when your child is in the care of their other
Right.
parent, they don't have to let you talk to them at all.
No.
I found that out. I was like, fuck, that's bad.
Yeah, well, in our agreement,
My son has a cell
he
phone.
was required. We're
Exactly.
required to have a form of communication,
Yeah.
and we don't. And until
For
like,
the child?
yeah, like
Okay.
so, if in any way, like if he doesn't have her, if I need something, I'm supposed to be able to contact him. If he has her, I'm absolutely supposed to be able to contact.
Yeah.
Don't have that.
I think we have that in ours too.
Yeah, no, ours is set up
And
to
it
where
just has to be within like, business hours or like,
Yeah.
obviously like
Yeah.
No, I
a
didn't
phone
think
call. Or,
well, yeah, it's set up, and it's just different ways you set it up. But legally, if the parent doesn't, the other parent doesn't have to let you talk to him. I know that for, just because I went through the whole legal battle with my
Right.
ex-wife, and I mean, fortunately, we're cordial-ish. Depends on which minute you catch us on.
Right.
But those, and eventually you just kind of get used to it. You can't do shit about it. So you gotta.
That is crazy. I wouldn't deal with that.
It's-
I would
you think you'd be forced to.
I would show up at the bitch's house and be like, here to pick up my daughter.
Yeah,
but that's the whole thing. You say that.
Oh no, I would do it.
No, I get it, right?
You think that you're going to do things a certain way
You're gonna
until
end up
you're
not.
presented
You don't.
to the and presented with the
because you
situation.
got to think you don't want to bring that drama around
what the F is
your
she
own
gonna
child.
do?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the
You have
facts.
no idea how
That's
nasty
trespassing.
and vindictive people get and
Yeah.
what they harbor, like what feelings they harbor until you have a child with them.
Exactly.
And here's the other part about it. The fact of the matter is
Hey.
the other parent can have whoever they want. You can't do shit about it. You can be you can say you'll be the crazy person. It's fine. You probably would. Hold on.
Oh yes, you can.
No, but
when you get
here's-
lawyers involved, you
You could, right? If you went that route, but you would only cause more problems. And if you're the parent who's acting like a dickhead or an asshole, you're the one who's the asshole.
Right.
I'm telling you the fact.
And that was like one thing that
Yeah.
my son's dad and I agreed on when we split up. Like, I think I was like 21 when we broke up, and we have like still held true till this day, all these years later, that if we met someone that we wanted to introduce to him, that we would discuss it first. And
But that just shows
have.
maturity.
Right,
Yeah.
sure. It's a maturity.
and it's always
thing.
been that way.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never,
crazy.
I don't bring guys around that I date around my son, and he.
I mean, I didn't
one
meet
girl
my
around.
stepdad for a year.
That's
Before
right.
My
That's how
mom.
you should.
And he's awesome.
He is awesome.
Love him.
That's how you
Patrick,
should do
man.
But that's how you should do it, because I mean, who like my son has a dad. I don't need some guy that I'm dating for 3 months to
Yeah.
play
Yeah,
stepdad.
have a say.
Yeah, like no.
Wow.
But it also comes. I'm not taking away from what you're saying, right? It's all up to you and how you put those boundaries up. But if you're dating someone, and again, I'm not taking away from what your boundaries are because that works for you. But if you're dating somebody and you want to incorporate letting them meet your child, and that's again, if you feel okay with it, you feel like everything lines up, then I think it should be up to you as a parent, because like I can agree with bits and pieces of my ex-wife's parenting, but we're divorced because we don't agree on shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I could say I don't like the way you do this, but she can give me a middle finger, tell me to go fuck myself, and I
Right.
can't do anything about it. That's why we're divorced. So,
Right.
and I agree with you. If that's where you're like, look, I don't want any guy that I'm dating around my child, because I don't know if we're going to last long or what.
Right.
Like we have my ex-wife and I, we have a 6-month clause in our divorce decree, and at
And
that
I
point,
personally think it takes even longer than that.
I've definitely learned that too, right? Because at the end of the day, we all put this up we put our best foot forward because we want to. Like
Yeah.
we think we're. It's not that anyone says, you know what, I'm going to put the fake up. We actually think we're putting up
Put
the
the
real,
fake up.
right?
Right.
But and then we realize that we have habits
you're
and
not.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Like, wow,
It's a
that
different
was the
version of
honeymoon.
yourself.
Correct.
It's still
And,
you.
like,
It's
he's-
just
yeah.
the best
He's
version.
only
That's right.
See the
introduced-
ugly part.
because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. There is no one on this planet who's like, you know what? I'm just happy to be alone. We may say that, like, fuck that,
Right.
because
You
we've
get
been hurt.
Not true. I agree.
Yeah, right. It's like you've been hurt. You just don't want to deal with some bullshit you dealt
Exactly.
before. But at the end of the day, at our core, we want to find someone who.
course.
So that's why we put the best version of ourselves up first,
Right.
and then those who haven't dealt with shit, it all comes
It
out.
comes-
But
Yeah.
it just like Toni, it just speaks to her character. She's such a good person.
Yeah.
Even going through all this shit. I told her at one point when she was going through all this, I was like, "You have my full support. Do you want me to hire you an attorney? I will fucking bury
Oh
him."
yeah, I mean last
will
time
you hire?
when
Will you
Toni-
hire me? Can
I
you just
literally,
adopt a Puerto Rican?
kidding.
ask Toni. Did I
Give me a
not
boob
say
job.
that? I was like, "Do you want me to hire an
Toni and I had
attorney
dinner
and bury
she
him?"
was like, "Do you think that I should press charges?" I was like, "If you don't fucking call tomorrow morning and press charges, I'm gonna call for
Why
you."
didn't she press
The
charges?
only
know what
one
she
that
said?
wins is the
You wanna
attorney.
know what she
Yeah.
said?
It's
It is a
Nail on
lot
the
to
head,
drag
dude,
someone
for
through the
sure.
mud
But
like
here's
that.
the thing. I was so fucking angry at him for doing all the shit to her. I'm like, Toni, do you want to hire do you want an attorney? I will hire him and I'll fucking bury him.
Love you.
And she's like, no.
No,
I'm like,
you're so sweet.
I'm
Toni.
like,
just
she's like, because it's just going. I'm like, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you want me to bury him?
so fun.
And she's like, I'm like, because I'm about to. I'm so sick and tired of this. Ugh.
That's
You
one
see,
thing.
it's like-
Savant, like I know I could go through fucking anything and Savant would have my back.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
I think when I see, I mean, even with Sarah, I think that the honesty and whatever anyone wants to say about you, because I know you obviously, but I think that you make probably the best friend as opposed to a lot of fake fucking bitches that I meet that are like,
I've told Savant
Oh, no,
from day one.
we had
I'm
to
like-
weave those out too.
I'm like, you may do whatever, say whatever, let whatever, think whatever, and I'm like, but
at the end of
From
the
day one, you have always had my back, and you have always been someone that I can rely on. And that,
But you don't.
I know we don't can talk like we.
Yeah.
Obviously, I work for her now, but
Right.
like we didn't talk for months, and she's still like that. Never changed.
But I don't sense, I guess with all of you, either I don't sense like a jealousy from anybody.
No.
And that is
That's
so
important.
And
rare,
that's I think that
though.
I was saying, like, I see the vision, but I don't want to be Sivan. I don't want to be an injector. I don't want to take
Yeah.
her spot. Like, I
But
don't.
here's the thing. Toni came to me one day and told me she wanted that. And I'm like, I would support you 150%
Right.
because I love you.
Yeah.
And I would want that for you.
So I have a question though.
But there's a difference between helping somebody honestly
Yes.
to get to where you're at to helping somebody that's single white femaling you.
Yeah.
Right.
That will
Still have
take
yet
all
to see that movie.
Me too.
that will
good movie.
that wants you to help
saying
them, but then kind of secretly is super envious and jealous of you and wants to bury you and hurt
Right.
you.
But kind of like Cruz said earlier, there's enough to go around. Like there's
Exactly.
enough face, there's enough
Exactly.
hair, there's enough.
Not everybody feels like that.
I know.
I
That's
feel
true.
like the reason they work so hard, and I don't even see them as employees. Like
Right, they're your friends.
I never treat them like employees. Nothing. I treat them like
Oh.
my equals and people.
Update on the anal.
Oh God.
Okay, women who enjoy anal, are you white or other? Currently, it is at 38% white and 62%
What did I
other.
tell you, bitch?
Whoa.
Yeah, y'all.
I on
So you're boring.
yeah.
Okay. You know what?
38% sitting right there.
That's why you're single.
I hate
You know, Sivan, it's really interesting. So the second time I've gotten to do a show with you, and you know, it is.
I truly love my people, like Marcella said.
Yeah.
I am the friend that, like, if you came to me and this is gonna sound really bad, and you're like, I killed somebody, I need to bury them. I'd
She
be
won't
like,
burn the body.
I'll be like, where do we bury the body?
I'm gonna call my lawyer right
I have a ride or die.
I can
Like,
see that.
So you have
policy.
this very, very, just from a little bit I've gotten a chance to know you, you have this very hard exterior. Just bear with me on my. It's a compliment.
I hear this all the time,
Yeah.
so it's okay.
So it's, but you seem very brash. You seem like, for whatever reason, right? Life experiences. But at your core, what I'm just through Jen and through these two, and I haven't met Sarah, but obviously I can imagine she's just as awesome as these two are. I mean, you really put this amazing vibe out that the people who are your people,
I
you
will
buy
go
from,
to bat.
right?
Yeah.
But the people who are not, you're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I mean this is a total
She's a tough
compliment,
bitch
right?
with a big heart.
That's right.
I am.
Best way to
The people-
describe it.
Yeah.
And when they're in your
literally.
circle,
Yes.
and when they're
Well,
your people, they're your people.
I've been burnt so many times
Fuck
in my
yeah.
life
alert.
between friends, family, business people that I'm like, I don't fucking care what I look like on the outside. Like I told my boss this because she's like, you have to filter yourself. You have to be more professional. You are a nurse. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, yes, I am a
I'm
nurse.
professional.
What did she
but
say? I gotta hear what the
bitch.
boss said.
I was like, Carrie, I don't fucking care that I'm a nurse. I don't. Like, I care about who I am, and I'm the same fucking person that I've been since I was a little girl. I will always stand behind what I believe in, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
What made her start that conversation with you?
Because like she like, for instance, if somebody burns me or something like that and it really gets under my skin and I like go off, but I'll go off publicly, she's like, you can't do that, it looks bad. And I'm like, does it look like I fucking care?
Me and Sivan have conversations about that.
Yeah, and my attorney. He's like, now
Me and her attorney have become like really close friends recently.
he's like, you can't do that. Like, you have
People
to.
are scared of you.
I don't know. It's just like I've always been very strong-willed and strong-minded, and if I believe in something, I'm gonna vocalize that. Why should I sugarcoat
You
it?
shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Like, why? Because
my mom.
because I have followers on Instagram. Like, I don't fucking care about that.
Yeah.
Because I post videos. Like, I don't care. I even told Carrie, I'm like, even if I was on a show, guess what? I would still be myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to
And I think
turn
people
my back.
respect you for
I'm
it.
not going to
For
turn my
sure.
back on myself
Yeah.
or what I
No,
believe in.
and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I just have a question about the work flow. I mean, when it's a bunch of women, and we all know, and you are obviously in charge because you are the.
I'm not in charge.
But
I
no,
only
Priscilla
answer to Sivan, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
no, I'm asking.
We're
because-
so busy that we don't even have to.
no, but still, sometimes in business and in working, sometimes you have to I don't mean
the
the
hammer
word.
down.
I don't mean maybe that. I don't mean the word to sound so harsh, but discipline people sometimes. I mean,
Like with me and them.
yes. How does
I don't fuck
that
up.
work?
I mean,
So
Drop the mic.
every now and then I will have a blow up where I get really upset when I feel like things are not getting done. It happens about once every, I don't know, like 2-ish months. And I feel like because we're all so close and we are kind of like family, like maybe sometimes, I don't even want to say that they get lazy because they're not. They're anything from lazy. It's
Comfortable.
They get I don't even want to say comfortable because the reality of the issue is we're so busy that things
We're
just
doing so much
that they're doing so much. I can't even really get mad at them for slipping and making mistakes because we're so fucking busy.
What are some of those, like, what's a mistake? What would be something that would get under your skin?
Okay, so this kind of bothers me about
Don't say names.
Percy. And I
this bitch.
and
What? You said you don't like her?
I talk to I kind of vent
funny.
to Tony about this.
So who is she in the office?
The boozer. This is Percy.
Priscilla.
Percy. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know the short nicknames. For her.
But I know why she does it, and she does it for my sanity, so I can't really fully get mad at her. I hate when she tells people no.
What? That is a bullshit answer to
I'm
my
like,
question.
you told this person they couldn't get
Can
in.
you,
did not try to get her in. Like,
Okay, but let me tell you, Sivan is this person that one day she wants this one way and the other day she wants it the other way,
So what
and
is that?
she's gonna get
What does
mad
that
at
mean?
you. She's gonna
15-minute Botox.
I don't,
versus 30-minute Botox.
why is this Botox appointment set at 15 minutes? Oh my God, I need more time. This is why I'm behind.
Tony, I need you to change it. I was like, wait, I thought we said, and she's like, I don't know what I want.
And then I text Tony and I'm like, hey Tony, Sivan wants all the Botox appointments at 30 minutes because she thinks the 15 minutes are too short. And
Right.
Tony's like, but she just told me 2 weeks ago that she needs them all at 15 minutes. And I'm like, just do it.
So what is the rationale behind
And
that?
then
because
people
are
one
getting
person-
people are
one
getting
person, when
people
the
are
one-
getting smarter. They'll book like 15-minute Botox and they'll be like,
And then they want
"Oh,
their
I'm
full
so,
face
they're
done.
like, I'm
Right.
so glad
So
I
it's
finally
all-
get to be with you. Can you do my whole face?
Circumstantial.
Yeah.
It's circumstantial on Sivan's mood, on the day, on whether
she ate yet.
what's going on, whether she's had some water.
Do you get real moody real easily?
I get it's actually
she's
this
been
is
laid.
the cutest story too. When Tony was leaving and Priscilla was coming on, she's like, "There's a few things I have to tell you that will really help you with Sivan. Like, you have to make sure she eats lunch." And
I'm like, I don't even eat lunch, so I can't feed Sivan.
She's like, you got to make sure that she had her breakfast. She gets really moody around 1 p.m. if she hasn't eaten. Just like make sure she gets a break. It's almost like my one parent is handing me over to
Like, make sure she has a poop break. Like a thing.
But I mean, sometimes like our day, we have 15-minute appointments back to back, and they're all like full faces.
Yeah.
And if I was a client, I don't want to wait a damn hour to see you.
Right.
Right.
So yes, I tell people no when someone's like, I will get them in. Don't tell people no. And I'm like, Sivan, we have to. They can wait. I promise they're going to be okay.
Yeah. So
And they're usually okay, right?
they're okay.
Sometimes they don't make it.
Yeah.
But so you guys, I mean, it sounds like you work through these kind of issues just fine.
Me and Priscilla weave it out.
I don't
like leave and harbor any feelings.
no.
Like,
That's
good.
we
Well,
can separate.
Yeah, we can scream and yell at each other and get over and be like, drinks tonight?
Yeah. and it's
Sivan
not
likes me because I
we're-
usually have no feelings.
That's
Tony is really, really good at filtering myself. Like, I can freak out on Tony, and she knows that I'm just like stressed out and going
Yeah.
through some stuff, and she'll be like, okay.
Unless I'm PMSing, and then I'll
And then every now and then she like barks back, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, the
Sorry.
other day, I don't know what she texted. I think it was in the group text. I think she was bitching at both of us, but I ignored it.
I do that a lot.
I remember what it was about. It was about the Norway twig.
You said something back, and she was like, God, Tony really like. I love that Tony just like talks shit back to me.
Yeah,
dang it, that's it.
I kind of like it. I respect people that like give me a little conflict back. Like, I don't know.
Put their foot
I just
down.
let her have her moments, Like, I'm just
But
like,
for the most
okay.
time, she lets me have my moments. I freak out, and then I get over
I just
it.
don't say
and,
anything, and I'm like, she'll be fine in like 15 minutes.
and then, do I not always apologize to you
Oh,
a
yeah.
day later? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know I'd be lost without you.
She'll call me don't be mad at me. And I'm like,
funny.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I freaked out. I remember what the freak out was last time. I was like, we are going to Norway in exactly 15 days. And all I asked was for you guys to plan the fucking trip because I can't plan shit to
I was
save my
texting Tony
life.
and I'm like, when does she think we have time to plan
plan,
this?
plan a trip for 8.
And then Tony
women.
and I are on the phone for like an
8
hour and a half.
women.
8 women?
We're on the phone for like an hour and a half and I'm like, Tony, how do I book this? It's all in Norwegian.
Yeah, it's everything's.
So I was like, I've been asking you guys for
Y'all have
fucking
1
2
day.
months. I'm like, y'all have 1 day to turn it in.
And then me and
I'm
Priscilla
like,
got everything done in 6 hours.
Yeah, because I put a time limit up. I was like, I hate doing this to you guys. I hate putting like time restraints, but I have to sometimes.
She's like, I'm just gonna do it myself. We're like, no, you're not.
Please don't.
Just don't touch anything. Just
That's so funny.
we got it. It's fine.
We're like a dysfunctional family, and
But I'm like, I'd rather deal with
That
one person than like
45.
10 people that I don't even like. You know what I mean?
right.
But you guys,
and
you guys don't
honest.
feel like I am your boss, though, do you?
No.
It doesn't
No.
feel that way.
I just
But I
feel like we
think-
work together.
I think coming from, I just had the worst experience with a bunch of women for a wedding. And I am a very, like, I feel like I'm like, guy is like, I'm not a catty bitch.
Yeah,
And
like-
I don't do the drama. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
everybody else in this wedding party was like a literal psycho, like, except for the bride who I love, and I did it for her. But it was like the worst experience of my life. I just kept texting my mom. I was like, I want to get out of this fucking house.
Yeah, Priscilla was saying that
They're
the other day.
awful.
She's like, I am so thankful that you went off and did your own thing and that we're doing this together. Like, fuck, I remember the days where we would work with a bunch of
we're
girls
like
that
not
were like,
drama.
No,
not.
but you get around, like, there's those more times than not. This is not the environment with females,
yeah.
and it is the worst.
They're all catty and envious and jealous. And I'm
awful.
like, there's room for everyone, sis. Calm down.
Women
Yeah.
are
well, the
crazy.
biggest, like, advice that I would tell other people, they're like, how you do it? Like, what can I do? I'm like, you know what I did? I just focused on myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wasn't like jealous at like, you know, Jillian down the street or how can I take her down so I can do better? Like, I don't, people are like, do you know Dr. blah, blah, blah? Or
Oh,
nurse,
yeah. If
or
I had
nurse
$1 for
da-da-da-da,
every time someone asks Sivan, do you know Dr. blah, blah, blah? And she's like,
or nurse,
no.
da-da-da. I'm like, no. I'm like, I have,
Why did
Dr.
they ask?
Da-da-da and versus na-na-na.
I'm like, I have, they are doing this and doing that. I'm like, I
you
don't,
don't
I
care.
don't watch other people's
like,
stuff. Like,
Do
I
you realize how busy we are? Like,
again,
But that's
we're
always what I've said. Do I not say that
We're
the
not
people who
trolling
are
the
such-
competition.
Yeah, because if you're not, people who are such haters are not busy enough, is what I feel.
Exactly. They have too much free
Yep.
time to
I
focus
don't
on
even have
anyone
time
but
to look at
themselves.
anything to like.
I'm like, I don't even have time to
compare.
focus on my own life.
Okay.
Much less someone
Exactly.
else's.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you give us your social media? I always like to say so people can get in touch with you.
Yes.
Lips by Sivan, LIPSBYSIVAN.
How about you, Priscilla?
It is _Prissy _P _PRISSY _P.
That was long.
Tony?
Prissy
Wow.
P.
I didn't even know that was yours.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
just been
Prissy P
following
with
you,
the
so
underscore.
it's
You're like, I just follow you, girl. I don't know.
Mine's just at Toni Reiser, so it's TONIRISTER.
Do you guys know Sarah's? Because she had to
It
go.
is.
The Sarah Sparrow.
Yeah, at the Sarah Sparrow.
I will
With
say
an
that
H.
my one highlight of the day, so everybody out there listening, is going to Toni's page because she posts the most inappropriate,
Okay, but
hilarious
I
memes.
send her a lot of those.
So every meme that you want to post yourself but you're too embarrassed of,
Send it to Toni.
send it to Toni.
That's so funny.
I send her so many, and she's like, "Yep, posting."
That's great though.
Okay, let's go to our party with Miss Polly.
Party with Miss Polly.
Yeah. All right. She is not here though.
It's time to party with Miss Polly. The modern day go-to.
I like it.
Are guys usually annoyed if a girl hasn't gone back to the apartment or house on a 4th or 5th date?
They like kind of move in.
Wait,
No.
what?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you mean like
confused at the question.
No, no, no.
Sleep with them?
That's basically what
I don't think I've ever held out
let's
that long.
Say the
rephrase that
again.
question.
Say the
Yeah.
question
Okay.
again.
Toni doesn't believe in that. She wants to try it out the first night.
First
So
date.
she
Yeah, I'm
doesn't
like, I don't
want
think
to-
I've ever held
Good
out.
for you.
I don't think I've held
I don't
out.
know what I'm getting
Literally,
into.
the guy she's dating now, she's like, Sivan.
Oh my
he's, like,
God.
won't have sex with me.
You
Like,
know who
fuck
made
him.
me Cruz?
What?
You know who made me wait?
No names.
How did I meet you?
Say the name. We can block it out.
Through who?
All right,
You say it afterwards.
Say it. We
Say it
got
after.
Did I meet you through him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't thing.
I just know.
Wait.
Just out and about. I don't really.
It was
like,
through.
what?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
So-
think we went on literally, I counted 20 dates.
No, but we don't. No.
20. I'm literally not fucking exaggerating.
No.
Before he slept with
That
me.
means there's
And I
something
was
wrong.
like, what the fuck? Why won't he sleep with
Was
me?
it worth the wait? The 20-day wait?
But by then I was in love with him.
You what?
I said by
That's
then
why
I
they.
was like in
That's
love
why
with
they
him.
do it.
And then we slept together and I was like, oh.
That's
Yeah.
why.
But was it worth it? The wait.
No.
No.
The sex was good because I liked him so much.
But if you
I mean, it wasn't like a micro penis or
I feel
anything.
like that's why
How is
guys.
that even a thing?
It wasn't like small, but it was like very average.
It's very below average.
So that's when you get it in anal
What
sex
was
with
the
right
question?
there. I know.
Oh, I know. I'm like, wait,
All right, what is
If
the
you don't
question?
sleep with
So
them,
girls
Tone-
making guys wait.
So Tony got really annoyed with the last guy. She's like, "What the fuck? 2 weeks? What for?"
So I guess this
Why
could go
wouldn't he sleep
both
with him?
ways. If guys
because he
would get
wants to make sure
frustrated
she's
or
hooked,
like him or
okay,
something?
before
I
the
don't-
penis.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
still
associate-
wondering what the question is.
do guys get frustrated if you don't sleep with them after the third or fourth date?
Okay.
Fourth or fifth.
And
I'm
don't
sorry.
whine.
I did this to a guy before
Why?
because he laid on top of me and it felt the hard on from the jeans to me was
Oh.
so huge that I was like, I'll be forever
Oh, I'd
his
have been.
slave.
I'd have been down.
So I was like, I gotta leave. I gotta go home. Oh my god! And like, I got up and like ran out the door.
I'll be
And then I'm
forever
like,
his
I was like, just get through these 2 weeks, and then you're going to Israel, and then you won't see him for like 6 weeks, and
But
he'll
why?
forget about
Was it because you were scared of his dick?
Well, no,
it was so
She's
massive.
scared that
She's
she was
gonna
going to fall in love.
Addicted to what
Addicted.
addicted.
Like he laid on
my
top of me,
God.
and his hard on like
felt
touched
it.
under my bra, and I was like, oh god! I
wow.
was like weak at the knees. I was
What's
like,
his name?
Do you have a picture?
You know him.
Oh.
So did you date the guy? Did you end up sleeping with him eventually?
She's like, and now we're married.
So anyway, I went to Israel,
Yes
and
or
I was
no?
like, he'll forget about me. And he reached out to me while I was there, and he's like, I want to take you on a date when you come back. And I came back, and 10 years later,
Oh, that's
Oh, that was
Oh,
always
one.
Yikes.
Dun dun dun.
fuck. I just said that out loud. bleep all names.
I will.
I've never been associate feelings with sex. Like literally, my first time, I was like, "You want to get this done, or are we gonna like?"
Do you want to get
Oh,
this
keep
done?
staring at each other
I
like a
have
bunch of
to,
weirdos,
like-
and then I
Like
never
you
talked
say
to
that?
him again. Yeah,
So you had sex with him and just blew him off?
yeah, I never talked to him again. I'm like that with most guys.
She's a Virgo. Okay, they're really good at
I
this.
just don't.
I like.
If I
Is it
like you, I'm gonna
because-
hold your hand.
I can be like
you know?
physically
that's
attracted to you and
that's
not
the
want to
thing.
sleep
If
with
you like someone, are you super affectionate with the person that you like?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things for them, but
Like anal?
Anal in particular.
anal.
She's like, no, I do anal.
Like
There you go.
anal.
That's so funny.
You're gonna have a lot of new followers.
Yeah, you are.
A ton.
Wow. All right.
I-
Question of the day.
And on that note,
Question of
See,
the
that
day.
question, I feel it just really
okay.
kind of depends on the situation. You know, there's like times where, you know, you build up and you're like, yeah. And then there's times where like you meet somebody and you're like, you know, I think I just want to be friends with this person.
or how
True.
fast, like the time span that you're going on these dates. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's guys that I've met where we just happen to both have the time and we're going on like 2-3 dates a week. You know what I mean? And then
yeah, I
there's
agree with that.
5 or 6 dates over the course of 2 months. You
and
know?
then you can feel a connection with somebody like right
Instantaneous.
away.
You
And
know
then
it,
There's
and-
some times where you go and it's like, and then all of a sudden like you're
Yeah.
drunk.
There's
and
a
like,
study
yeah,
about
it's
that.
fun, and you know.
Yeah.
There's literally a study about this. Like, you know, in the first 5 minutes when you meet somebody,
Absolutely.
I
if
feel
you're
like
gonna
I do.
if you're gonna fuck them or not.
Yeah.
What?
For sure.
It's not. I don't
For
think
sure.
it's
Yeah.
really like.
No, Marcel, this is
If
the
you're
thing.
gonna, I think it's more like
Whether you
will
want to,
I?
yeah.
You know, because like.
Uh,
Yeah, you know, I'd probably, you know, do it, but I'm not gonna because I don't want them to think I'm a hoe, so I'm gonna wait, you know.
We're in
so
our
there's
30s.
That's
True.
overrated. That's not a thing.
We're not in high school anymore, okay? We're in our 30s. Like, if you want to have sex with someone, have sex with
Yep.
somebody. Like, what are we, fucking kids? Like,
Absolutely.
yes, but then at the
no,
same time,
I'm not saying have sex with a different person every night. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, you know,
Just
in
the
the first,
maturity of
you
the
know,
whole
in the first
situation.
5 minutes where you're like, yes, no.
What about
It's animal. instinct.
But
I think it
but-
right,
varies.
but doing
I think
it and
varies
thinking it are
because
two
you're-
different things.
Yeah, but Cruz, going back to what you said, you don't want them to think, you know, you're a hoe, whatever.
It's not even that, but you are taking out like a human basic instinct, like excitement. If you sleep with someone immediately, you are not excited as if you had built
I don't agree with that.
some
I
sort
completely agree
of.
with Toni on that. I don't agree with you at all.
I don't agree with that.
Here's a couple things. First off, if
I would lose
they
interest
think,
right
if
away
they
if
think
I
you're a
sleep with
hoe, they're a hoe too because they fucked you, right? But the second thing is,
But guys don't think that way.
you're
though.
wrong.
Don't want you to think they're
No,
a hoe.
you're wrong. That's got girls. First off, women are worse than guys. I don't give a shit what you say.
Guys
It's
know
a
if they're going to
fact.
date you, they're going to date you. If they're just going to do you, they're going to do you.
Women are
So
the
either
same
way,
ways. Women are the same way. Toni just said she's the same way, right? She's like, oh, I could bang someone and be done with it. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, if we had sex and it's great, then
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but if I sleep with you right away, I'm gonna lose interest.
See, that's not how it is for me.
Regardless
If
of-
it, if it
But
sucks,
if it's
If it
amazing,
sucks.
if it's
If it's you are not losing
not
interest.
just sex too.
If
I
I
mean,
sleep with someone, I don't care if it's the best sex I've ever had or the worst sex I've ever
then
had.
you've never
I
had
don't
the
wanna
best sex of your life in the
I don't
first
want to.
date.
I don't really
Exactly.
want to pursue anything emotional. It's really just a physical thing.
You just, I agree 100% with you. What you
it's
just said. Say it
not
again.
true because I
For
have
me,
met
it
somebody
is.
and like
But
the
that's
first
what she
night
just
had
said.
sex with them the first night and that led to like a year and a half
Right.
or 8 months.
that's
of a
how all my
relationship.
relationships started.
But,
I'm
and,
not
then,
saying.
and then I've met somebody over and over again for 2 years and never had sex because you know what? In the first 5 minutes, I knew I would never fuck them. I was just playing with myself, like he's a good guy, maybe one
looks
day,
good on
and then I'm
paper.
like,
Right.
never.
yeah.
Because there's that animal instinct we all have.
Yeah,
And
it's-
it may lead to just sex, but you'll know.
It's human nature. You will know in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
I guess I'm
So
that
you're
kind
not
of,
saying that you wouldn't meet someone, sleep with them, and not lose interest.
not at all.
No,
Not at all.
that
but
means
not
that-
all the,
I
not
see-
every time.
No.
I'm not saying every
I
time.
get what you're saying. Like I've made that
I also
mistakes
don't
where-
sleep with every guy I'm into immediately. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't either. I'm just saying, like, I don't.
I'm-
I guess for me, and this kind of, it's funny because if Sarah was here, she would agree. For me, I don't really meet a lot of guys that I would sleep with. I really don't.
I mean,
it's
I
like-
don't either.
It's so hard for me to meet somebody that I click with. That's why over
Same.
the span of the last like 15 years, I haven't dated a lot of guys, and the ones that I dated
Didn't you
were
date
the
a
only-
guy for like 10 years though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
call it a span of 5 years. Then.
Right.
Yeah, you see what
well,
I'm
I
saying?
think because he's been like on and off, right? You've broken up.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
tried,
We have. It
yeah.
wasn't like consistent 10 years. But even before that, like I just haven't met in my life, I haven't met a lot of guys that I was like, yes.
But do you
I
think
feel that,
subconsciously that, I mean, just hearing y'all talk
Mm-hmm.
and hearing about the insanity of your life,
Yeah.
I mean, you have 3 people to help you manage your life, right?
I have
I mean, at
more
least,
than that.
right? So
Mhm.
let's
I
just
see what you're
say,
saying.
but
Yeah.
the point is like maybe mentally, subconsciously, you know, you're just not ready for that. And it's not one of those things where you're
Right.
thinking, you know what, I'm not ready. It's just, you're so busy. You got so much shit going on that you know that you don't have the time to focus on
Yeah,
a
I'm not
relationship,
gonna.
right?
I'm not gonna. No, I wouldn't say that because I do want a
She does.
relationship. I really do. I think that work is like therapeutic for me, and it was a way to deal with hurt. Like, and some
We're
people,
at 60-40 right now.
with their
I told you.
I know some people self-medicate with like partying and drinking and drugs. Like one of my biggest
Sex.
ways is self-medicating is working.
I'm the same.
She's
I'm the
hilarious.
same.
What,
Sex or Tony said sex.
I
is
totally
we're
relate
showing-
to that.
we're showing
I
something.
just
and I did
totally
have
immerse
a,
myself
and I did
into
have
work.
a partying phase. I did have a phase where I was really like down and sad that it didn't work out with somebody I was with for a long time, and I would work like crazy, and then
That's always
party
my
like crazy.
advice to anybody, like especially out of a relationship. I tell everyone, I'm like, go to work. You'll be so distracted,
And it's really just keeping busy, keeping
So
your
busy,
mind
yeah.
busy
Yeah.
and occupied.
and then you get really successful. Usually,
Yeah, that's
the
right.
usual
Usually
playback.
help. And you're like,
We need to
oh.
go question of the day.
Oh yeah.
The 2 Posh Girls ask the question of the day.
Should the person being proposed to have a say in their engagement ring?
I have to think it depends.
Sure.
I mean,
I-
don't date someone that you
Think
know
it
is tacky and is going to pick something out ugly.
Yeah, I would have liked to imagine that you probably had
Pinterest.
that.
Right? Look at my Pinterest.
I would like to imagine you at least have had that conversation. You're not
Right.
blindly going to
Yeah.
surprise
Right.
someone who's like, "Oh, fuck yourself," because you see all this. You see this.
You gotta know the
I
best
would like
friend.
to
You
give
know.
in.
Yeah.
The worst is when you see those shows
I'm
of people who
so
have
mixed
failed
with this.
proposes.
Right.
I would like to give
I'm
input, but I would feel like I would like my fiance or soon to be to know enough about me for what I would like.
Yes.
Okay, let's not lie.
So-
We all have sent pictures though to be like, hey, so if you're gonna, this is like kind of what I want.
Check their
I think there
Pinterest.
I always just go to my Pinterest board.
I,
It's there.
I think there was a point in my life I just wanted to get married so bad to this one person that I would have been happy with a cereal box ring. But every guy after that, I was like, bitch, you better give me 6 carats, blah, blah, blah. But then I thought to myself, then it's not really real. Like, it's the commitment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's the symbolization of commitment. So, I don't know. There's one specific person that didn't really bother me. Like, I would have been happy with a cereal box ring because it was like the form of commitment. But everybody after that, I was like, yeah, it better be this and this and that, which kind of tells me, I'm like, do I really want this? Does that
There's
make
that
sense?
too. There's kind of
Right.
You know, it
Yeah.
kind of goes hand in hand.
But it's a lot of things, you know. It's a piece of jewelry that means something that you
Yeah.
wear all the time.
Right. It's supposed to last.
So you know, it also is supposed to be like a sacrifice of, you know, I'm doing all this to show you that this is how involved I am. This is how much I'm investing into this, you know. So I
that's
feel
so
that that, you know, it doesn't have to be like super expensive, but I feel that it's got to be something precious and something that
I agree.
You know, it's not just easy to obtain.
I think that for me, I always just felt like to just even get to the point where the guy and you are like, let's get married is so huge to me that like we'll figure out the ring later. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
You can
where
always upgrade.
And exactly, you can always
that's
do
your
that.
mark.
Which I'm not saying that I don't like pretty things. I have a feeling that, you know, if I were to get married and stuff like that, I would probably like do the little bit of the upgrade. But to me, it's so monumental to just get to the point to be like, let's do this.
do life together.
Right.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you for listening,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.